Hey everyone, this is Joy, and today we're making a really cute shaker card with this Wild and Punny stamp and die set. Isn't this so cute, you guys? Oh my gosh. So we're going to make quite a few of them, and I've really speeded this video up because it took quite a while. So first step, I use Memento ink because I'm going to be coloring, and I'm going to stamp the flamingo. You can see I've already stamped quite a few of the other animals, and I've cut them up. Now I'm going to take the dies and I am going to go ahead and use washi tape and tape all that down. So when I run it through my big kick, it doesn't wiggle and then it cuts wrong. So I decided to stamp first and then die cut later because I find with these kind of intricate dies like that, it works out way better. I used to be I should die cut first. No, not with these. So just an FYI. So I'm going to run these through. What's wonderful is miraculously, they don't stick on the stamp. So I was worried a little bit that could happen, but it didn't happen. So, anywho, be sure and always put your dies back in their little baggie, or that, my friend, is the way to lose them. I'm using the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers here, and they are just really wonderful. They come with 3 different colors in each marker. And what's really great about that is they're all gradations of the same color, so it's so easy to use them to do shading and whatever else. For larger images and much more sophisticated coloring people than me. All right, I'm using the pale pink blend on the flamingo, and then just coloring him in. I need to use the black on here too. The black is very, doesn't have a very fine tip, and those legs are really skinny, so it's a little clumpy. However, I worried about that, and then I was like, it's going to be under the shaker. It's going to be stuff floating on top of it. I'm not going to stress out about it. Although it was considered. A little freak out was considered, but then I was like, nah, it's fine. It'll be fine. Just don't, calm down. Everything's all right. So, anywho, I go on to the cow, and the cow I'm using the lightest color of the dark red blend of this, of these, and then Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers. And he's nice and easy because he's just, a dairy cow. It's just black and white. And his spots are nice and big. So even though I don't have a fine tip, and they may make a fine tip, I just don't happen to have the fine tip. But it's easy because he's got huge spots. And then I just sort of dabbed for his feet. So not a huge deal with him. I went ahead and also used, what did I use on him? The dark red blend. Okay, I told you, on his muzzle. Sorry about that. And that was easy to do. Just gave it a little contrast, not anything stressful, kind of easy to do. So next up is the lizard. So normally a lizard's green, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to be creative here. I'm going to make the lizard blue, and I'm using the True Blue blend, and I'm using the middle tone, light, mid, dark is what, I don't know, kind of what they call it. I'm using the mid tone, and then I'm using the orange blend for his eye, and I'm using the lightest tone for that, and I use the middle tone of the dark red blend for him also. So just 3 colors on him, but overall I used a total of 5 markers for these. So that will all be down in the description. My friend Melinda designed these cards, and I just thought they were the cutest thing. And she's like, yeah, go ahead and make them. People need to see them. It's so cute. And this is just the cutest set. Oh my gosh, right? Very cute. So here you can see where I did the gradations and wrote down what was what. So I would know and we'd be set, right? So just going to color his little stripes in with that mid color of the dark red blend, and then his eyeball, and then we're in business. So we can get on with the process of making the shaker card part, which should be a good time. Next, I'm going to be using the shaker, window, and confetti thin cuts from Close to My Heart. And they have two circles. The larger one, I'm just going to cut in white. That's going to be my background. So I didn't show that. You can see it now on the screen. And then the smaller circle actually creates that border that goes around the shaker. So I did those in some contrasting colors to kind of match my background and kind of match the background of the animals and all that kind of stuff. So I'm using the Pixie pink, and then the Sweet Leaf green, and then, boy, that sure looks like, is it candy apple red? It's either candy apple or it's cranberry. I didn't label my cardstock great. They're in colored order, but I don't know the names. Here my little edging piece got stuck, and I just used the edge of my tweezers to poke it out. There's holes in the back. So that's nice and easy to do. That happens on all of them because it's such a tight fit for that. But it just pokes right out, as you can see. Now my cards are just going to be a standard A2 size, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this background paper, you see the stripes and the two pinks, those are sized at 4 inches by 5 1/4. So they're just going to leave an outline of white around them. Now I'm going to go ahead and stamp this background section, stamp the background stamp. That looks like a little bit of scribbling. It really makes a difference for the background of the animal where he's going to be sitting inside the shaker. And it's really kind of amazing. Now I tap off brand new stamps on my hands. What that does is it gets rid of any like manufacturing ick that's kind of on there. It's not a lot. So I mean, you're not going to go, ew, it's on my hand. You know, it's no big deal, but it'll make everything stamp better. So I was a little concerned with this stamp because it's a big chunk of stamps, and so you have to be careful you don't get a bubble. So this is here I'm trying to prevent the bubble. A lot of times you can help prevent the bubble if you throw the stamp on the table and then pick it up that way. So a little trick to know, because sometimes those big background stamps, they get a bubble and then, you know, it's not optimal. You know what I'm saying? Not optimal. I'm using the Carolina, the Pixie, and the Sweet Leaf inks for these backgrounds. So they just add so much. I was really surprised at what a difference it made doing it. So big fan of this little background stamp. I'm thinking of using it on some other things because, you know, it almost looks like watercolor. I don't like to watercolor because I have a habit of making everything end up looking brown as the colors kind of all run together. So this is like the perfect solution where it looks great. So you can see there's the cow's going to go in that one. And I'm just using some, oh, I love these things, you guys. And what are they called? They're called Scotch something. Scotch mounting squares. Oh, these are great because they're like 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, so which is kind of, for card frames, almost like the perfect size to use. So I love these. You can get these like at Target or Walmart, or I get them anytime I see them because you can kind of go through them too. But they are fantastic. So I just wanted to go ahead and pop up the animals on their little backgrounds just to give it some dimension, and also it's kind of a place to catch some of the sequins, so they kind of get caught up higher than just lower. Ultimately, people were gluing sequins around the animal or around anything on a shaker card. They'll glue a couple sequins here and there. I did not do this on that project. That felt like too much for me, so I did not do that. So now we're just going to stick down the card fronts, and we will be in business getting that done. Just making sure the cards are folded nice and tight. And I just think this paper's so cute, and it just went with everything really nicely. There'll be a list of products I used down in in the post and in the comments, and if you're watching this on YouTube, in the comments there, or, you know, in the description. So you can find all the things I used to make this, because it's just too cute, right? And I thought about that flowered side, and then I was like, but it doesn't really go with the lizard. And he's going to be busy because he has some busy sequins. Each one had different sequins I used for it. Here I'm just using my Scotch ATG to glue it down. No big deal. I'm eyeballing where to place it and making sure I match up those little rings. Those rings are going to cover up my shaker card when I get to it. You know, I keep talking about a shaker card, and I'm so hoping that you guys know what that means. But by the end of this video, you will. If you didn't already know, you will know at the end of this video. You are going to need this rub and remove eraser and the anti-static pouch. It is the only way to go. When you get out your acetate piece, you're going to use that rubber eraser to get the film off of it. So we will see here. I tried to slow down the video so you could see it. So here I'm getting out my acrylic cover. That's what's going to hold all the sequins and stuff in. And I'm just very gently on the edge using that eraser to see which side has the, there's like a plastic covering. See, I'm pulling it off now. Yay! If you don't have that eraser, it takes years to pull that off. You can't tell what side it is, and it's no good. Then you want to be sure, this is so important, to rub it with the anti-static pouch, or what happens is all the sequins just kind of glue on there, and it's not good. You do not want that. All right, now that I've gotten all that off, I'm going to peel off a little ring of adhesive, and that is actually the part we're going to end up sticking down. See? So I just very carefully do that. Now on the inside of that is a whole bunch of dimensional shapes that they give you. So it's actually kind of good. So kind of like what I was just talking about with my Scotch mounting, now I have a whole bunch of these too. So I pull that off, and what I'm going to do is stick that acrylic piece we just anti-staticked, and I'm going to do it again just in case, because I forgot which side I did or if I did both sides. So I'm going to stick that down, and it's a tricky business. I try to hold it in my hand like that and very carefully stick it down. I will tell you it's a little forgiving, so if you kind of mess up, don't freak out. Those little rings we cut kind of cover a lot. Now here's the tricky part. We're going to go ahead and pull it apart. And if you watch here, you can see, yay! I usually use my tweezers to help me along, but you'll see how I'm kind of sliding it in between the acrylic and all those dimensional shapes that come on this round foam. So you'll see I'm kind of carefully pulling that up. That one wanted, that was a renegade. I had to get rid of him, but you'll see they're kind of lifting up a little bit. Sometimes it's not cut as deeply as you want, but mostly it's fine. See, now I've got it adhered, and that side is sticky, that's sticking up, and let me tell you guys, it's super sticky, all right, like really sticky, just so you know. It's pretty sticky. So normally what people do is they put those sequins down first. What I will tell you is sometimes I'm messy and hit things, and I could send those flying, and I also have cats who jump up. So I dealt with the sticky ring first, and I put that out of the way. That's dodgy too, though, you know what I mean? But it works out here. It's working out. But I was like, oh, I should have done that first. No. And then I'm very carefully, I don't want to make too many because I don't want to cover over my flamingo because he's so cute, right? So I want to be real careful. And it's very easy to either have too many or too few. Funny that way, right? I don't know why, but it is. So I found in some ways it's better to reach in like that and kind of pinch the pieces out, but the downside of that, and there is a downside, is then that stuff's all staticky and then it's stuck to your hands and your fingers and it's on the table and it's everywhere, and you know, it's annoying. So now I'm just going to stick this ring down, as you can see, and that's got our acetate on the top, and that creates our window. So that is the shaker window. And then all I have to do is glue my ring down, and I'm in business. I actually used a liquid glue, Tombow Mono multi-liquid glue to do this, and I used my tweezers to hold everything. These are tweezer bees. I don't even know if they sell these anymore. I love these, and I could never craft without them, especially doing small cricket cuts and things like that. Oh my gosh. You guys have to use tweezers of some kind because there's no like doing this otherwise, just FYI. All right, and then I just stick that down. And the last thing I'm going to do then is select a sentiment to put on the front of it. So isn't this so cute? Oh my gosh, I love it. It's so cute. All right, moving on, we're just going to select a saying for our card, and the one that goes for flamingos is party like a flamingo. So how cute, right? Just going to go ahead and stamp that in black ink and back it with some black paper, and then we are good to go. So now we're just going to go ahead and put this on our card front after we're done getting it measured just right. You guys ever do that? You're like, I thought it was this size. No, it's this size. I don't know what size it is. So just going to sticky that down with my Scotch ATG. Let me speak clearly. I'm not popping this up at all. There's already the shaker card. There's already a lot going on. So anywho, now this is going to be all the cards. They're all finished. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I just sort of, fill in for the rest. Have a great day. Take care.